Okay, folks, let's see. Can we zoom in? We could zoom in. We can't zoom out more than that. Okay. Could zoom in, but you can't zoom in more than that. Okay. Well, I wish there was a way to not make this reversed, but there's just no way around that. It's going to be a reversed video. But anyway, so we've got some Hot Wheels that we're going to break apart. Hot Wheels slash Matchbox slash no name things, and we're going to prime them and get them ready to start doing the old Gaslands treatment to them. Well, we got our coffee. We got our Coke habit here, and got our airbrush ready to go, and we got our Dremel ready to go. And yeah, let's see. Can I move this further back? Let's see. We're a little zoomed in for this. Let's see if I can adjust this up a little bit. I wish this video was not reversed, but there's no way to avoid that. Okay. All right, so what do we have here is we have some cars that are brand new and there are cards, and some stuff that Marty sent me. I did an unboxing yesterday on some cars Marty sent me, and these are the first ones that we're going to work on them. Man, it's hard to get these in view here. Okay, so we've got a police thing. I don't have any police vehicles. So this is going to be the first police vehicle I have. Now, this one I'm actually not going to break apart because there's nothing inside. This is kind of a no-name Chinese. I don't even know what it is, but it's got some police markings on it, and this will be useful for, this will be the first of the cops. The Kappas! So, it is a little dinged up, and we're going to weather on those corners, so it won't be that noticeable. I don't think it'll be noticeable at all that it's dinged up. So, yeah. You know, I should have taken pictures beforehand. Huh. Okay, well, it is what it is. So this is one of them that we've got. And this is a, what is this thing? This is called a Super Blitzer from 2010. This is a Hot Wheels. And it's got some striping on it, okay? It's got this yellow underneath. That's got to go. We're going to keep the striping on here. We're going to keep the metallic color. We're going to do something with the windows. This area back here, we're probably going to enclose it somehow. I don't know what the hell this is going to be called or what the hell it's going to be armed with. Okay, I haven't decided that yet. Usually, I decide that ahead of time. I don't know what team it's going to be for, what faction, whatever, whether it's a free agent. Not sure yet. This one, this is kind of a weird vehicle. This is called, what is this thing called? It's called the Jester. I don't know why the hell this is called a Jester. It's some make-believe vehicle, okay? But I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. This is kind of weird. It's kind of has some 50s type styling, but yet it's a pickup truck. It's modern. But one of the things on here, I don't know if you can see there, it actually has an RC car in the back. So one of the things in Gaslands is you can actually have RC cars, almost like, what was that game that they ruined? In my opinion, Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege you can run around with and have these remote control cars that can blow themselves up. Well, this is going to be the mastermind of the remote control cars that blow themselves up, and he's going to be one of the cars from the Nerd Burglar team. Nerd Burglars in Paradise. So this is going to be one of them, including the Marvel car and things like that. So I don't know what we're going to do with this. I suspect that it's not going to have a top on it. But we're going to take this apart, and I'll show you guys how to do it relatively easy. Okay? Even if it's not pretty. And we saw two things that we cannot, and this is basically how I operate. I'll actually see things, and I'll like, that'll work, and I already have a name for it. So these two things I picked up today, I had no intention of getting them, but they're brand new. Somebody said that these were out. This is actually a 2026 already. And this is the Barbie Dream Camper. And this is going to be the Bimbo Bomber. So, you say, well, blonde, all blondes aren't bimbos. I said, well, this one is. This is going to be the Bimbo Bomber. Bimbo Bomber. So, yeah, this is going to be swell. Okay? And this one is a Bentley. And it is all gold. So this is going to be Goldie Glocks. So this is actually going to be a performance vehicle with a third crew member. And they're all going to be armed probably with pistols. They're probably going to arm them all with magnums, to be honest with them, just to play them differently. That's probably the starting point I'm going to do with them. So, anyhow, that's what we're doing with these. Okay, so we're going to take all these apart, and we're going to paint the interiors black, and we're going to flat coat the outside so that we can give them the wash. Okay? Hello, hi. And I've got my box here to put the guts in. And let's put all these old guts in the communal one. Just to help sort them a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and do the ones that are already undone. So we're going to do Jester here. I don't know if this is in register here. All right, we're going to take our Dremel tool with a foot pedal where we can slow it down relatively slow. And I don't like to go through the metal. Actually, this front one might not be metal. It might be plastic. And it is plastic. Okay, well, I don't mind going through the plastic. Let's just go through that peg. Just like that. That'll loosen it up. Should be loose on the front. It is. Now on the back, we actually have a complete metal peg. I don't want to go through that. I'm going to go ahead and put this in as a softener. I don't want this, the vibration of this to scratch the surface of this vehicle. So instead of going through this metal and it being a living hell, I like going around this. And around this is all plastic. So, and I'm not going to go all the way around the back because the back is usually really close to the edge and you'll end up messing up the edge of this, okay? So I'll go like 3/4 of the way around. I'll stop about there, okay? I'll put this down and it should be able to crack open. And notice I said should be able to crack open. There. And I'll actually force it a little bit. All right, and this is what we have inside Jester here. Now, here we go. These things have great interiors. I mean, they have great interiors. I have an RC car back here. We have, what's this? It looks like it's actually one of those remotes. There's a remote for the RC cars. It's like a trigger mechanism, and it's got like a little twisty thing on the side. There it is. One of them laying on its side, toolbox. All kinds of stuff you can paint. This, if I remove this and put this back on, let's see what kind of, yes, freaking wind. Stop blowing. All right. Don't mind me. I'm just getting in fights with inanimate objects. Let's see what this looks like without the clear thing. Because the clear thing just covers over the details that we have here. That goes like that. This goes like this. Maybe what we'll do is we'll actually keep the front of the window. Keep like the front frame and just remove the back. And that way you'll still be able to do it. Unfortunately, if you do that, we're going to need some figures up there. And I don't know, I'll have to make some custom nerd figures. Or some guy with fucking glasses or something like that. All right. So this is the Jester opened up. Okay. All right. This is some Blitz something or another. Blitz Bomber, Blitz. What's this thing called? Super Blitzen. Super Blitzen. Okay. And these are both metal, which is what's normal. Usually you either have a plastic body, a plastic top, and a metal bottom, or more than likely a plastic bottom and a metal top. That's generally the way that they are. So we're just going to come in real easy. I don't know what RPM this is at, but if you use one that's a standard Dremel, it's way too fast. And we are getting a little bit of metal shavings because we are getting close to that peg. Okay? And the problem with the metal shavings is then if you put the body on it and you grind on it, you're going to actually cut into the finish of the body, which I don't really want to do because, you know, I don't want to have to repaint that part. Are we loose on the front here? Let's see. Nearly. This is the system that's worked the best for me. There's probably other ways to do it. If you watch videos of people doing it, they make it look really easy. Oh yeah, you just go through the peg with different steel bit. I'm telling you, it is a pain in the ass. It's dangerous. I'd like to keep all my fingers. I'm a careful person, but this is a hell of a lot safer. Okay, and this should just pop open. Just like that. Remove this. Got a whole engine in here. Nice. A body. And the clear stuff. Okay. And it comes with a wang. You get a free wang out of it. Okay, and a police guide, which there's no point in breaking this open because there's nothing inside. Okay, so. The cops. All right, now, this is where we don't want the metal shavings because those vehicles were used. They already came pre-loved. I don't want to fuck up these unless needed. So let's go ahead and do Goldilocks. Okay. It's a Bentley. I believe this is a 20. No, it's a 2020. No, maybe it's just a reissue. How do you tell what year it is? 2025. Yeah, I think I've seen this one before. It's this one that's a 2026. No, it says 2025 also. Okay. Excellent. Woo, this thing's shiny. Now, this does have Hot Wheels in a couple places. Supposedly, do I have a paper towel here? Supposedly, you can do this. Now, I haven't found that this works that well. But supposedly, you could take a dry erase marker and go over these Hot Wheel markers. Jesus, stop blowing. Turn your ass off. Going over these Hot Wheels markers, these Hot Wheels symbols. And then you can come in with a paper towel and cleans off. But it doesn't work too well. What works better is actually like a polishing thing. Yeah, it doesn't come off. I haven't found that it works that well. You know, if I want to get it off that badly, I'll use like a polishing bit or something like that. You know, or just paint gold over it. You know, they make things look real easy on the internet. Oh, that's really easy. I'll go buy that. It didn't work for me. Like, why? You know? Maybe you're not holding your mouth right. I don't know. I tell it like it is. If shit doesn't work, I tell you guys, hey, it didn't fucking work for me. Maybe it works for you guys, but get rid of this extra piece of plastic on here. Okay. So again, we're just going to go around. Now this one is, we got to be careful we don't go through the end of it. All we're doing is just creating a little trench around here. Okay, front's open. Now the back, fortunately, this peg is way in the middle of everything, which means that you got to really screw up badly to make this not work. Because I end up closing them up with hot glue anyways, so. Pops open. What do we got inside? We got a single driver's compartment on the British side because it's Bentley. And the parts that go with it. Oh, this popped off. No biggie. And the glass for it. All right. And of course, the Bimbo Bomber. It's number 1 of 5. I wonder what else comes in here. You know, I saw this. I actually saw somebody today posted on one of the Gaslands groups that this was out. This is a new 2026. I don't know if this is a 2026. It says 2025 in the back. I haven't seen one of these in the store. Mattel, 1 of 5. Playful designs inspired by decades of timeless and iconic toys from Mattel. They only had one of them in the store. I walked in to see what was new. It was like, bam, I saw this. I'm taking that. As soon as I found out, I'm like, yep, that's the Bimbo Bomber. All right. This only has one in the back. Only one in the back. Barbie Dream Camper. I don't think my daughter had any Barbie stuff. She liked watching a lot of Barbie movies. She had a Barbie, one of those little vehicles you drive in that I would have loved to have as a kid. Well, not a Barbie themed one, but you know, the ones that have like the battery or whatever, and they're chargeable, and they go up to like, shit, they go like 8 miles an hour or something like that. Okay, well, we got to be careful here. This is a metal body, plastic top, which means the peg is plastic. Perfect. That's my preference. So watch how easy this works. But that's deep enough. I'm like, I don't know where the hell I'm going, but I better stop, or we're going to end up going through. Oh, that didn't work. Look how easy it is. Well, not that easy. This guy don't know what he's talking about. No, I'm just going to, I need to enlarge this and remove it. Okay. Now it'll pop open. Blammo. Okay. What's inside here? Steering wheel. There's an... Now, you know, look, there's a range. There's a sink. I mean, it's this cool shit that's in here. But none of it's visible. Like, all these vehicles have really cool interiors, but then, like, nobody gets to enjoy them. What's this? This is like a clear... What is... How does this come apart? It's like a stage here to like have a puppet show or something like that. Barbie playing with puppets. All right. I'm getting outsmarted by the Barbie mobile. There's actually a motorhome. I was going to say troop type. A car type. There's actually a motorhome car type in Gaslands. I think it's in one of the expansions or one of the unofficial things. There we go. Be smarter than what you're working with. This thing actually might kick open. Yeah, there's like, what is here? There's like a freaking table and with like chairs and shit. Not chairs, but There's like a dinner set or something like that. Interesting. All right, well, we might be able to use this kind of stuff, but this is going to stay in the pink, and it's going to be clear coated so that we can get some of the wash to stick to it. I think there might be a bed or something up there. This is going to carry a mortar. I'm pretty sure it's going to have a mortar on the roof. So, anyhow, this will be painted black. So will the undercarriage. We don't need a lavender undercarriage. That's a bit much. That's a bit much. So now we've got these broken open. We don't keep the packages. We play with our toys. We don't collect them. All right, and let's put this back on. Let's take the things that we're going to. Let's do the clear coat first, and then the black stuff later. All right. So what are we going to coat? Shit, I got some filings in my shoe. All right, there we go. Airbrush is up. It is not. I did not turn it on. Now, I used it earlier today to clear cut some things, so it should work all right. So, all these vehicles, I found out real quick, it's a lot quicker to just give them a clear coat, a flat clear coat, so it gives you somewhere for a wash to adhere to. Okay, so on a microscopic level, actually a flat coat is kind of, maybe not even so microscopic, but it looks like sandpaper. So there's all kinds of valleys and things like that. What's up, Ben? There's all kinds of valleys and nooks and crannies and stuff like that for your wash to stick onto. The wash allows not only does it allow the color to not look perfect, because this looks like a showroom. This is a showroom quality. Like if you go to your local Bentley dealership and look at a car, this is what it would look like. You see one on the road and it's not going to look like this, right? And there's all kinds of details on here. I mean, look at the grill on this thing. There's some nice details here to paint, and they give them to you, but they're like, but if you end up like removing the paint and all this, you're going to spend a lot of freaking time doing that. Plus, I like the design. I'm not going to, these stripes and stuff, I wouldn't put the striping back on it. If I take the paint off of this, it's not going to come back with these stripes. So like I've got these free stripes that I get to use and weather, and it'll look, it'll look fantabulous. So we're gonna start with a clear coat. This Metro Police cop car, we did not remove anything from it, so it's good to go. We're going to make sure that we do not have a jam session here, and we're just going to run some of the cleaner through here and make sure that when we press down, nothing comes out other than air. If liquid comes out, I'm going to take the whole thing apart and clear it. Okay? I'm not doing a really good clean every time I'm doing it, because I'm doing a lot of process. All I'm doing is clear coating and priming. That's all I'm doing. So I'm going to keep using it like this until it starts jamming. Then we'll take it apart. Okay, it saves me a shitload of time. All right, so we're going to load this thing up with some Vallejo Premium Color Flat. I know it's backwards for you guys. There's nothing I can do about it. So, happy Sunday, folks. I'm going to load this down with this thing. Get stuck. I think it got stuck a little bit of the. There we go. Let's just remove that. You end up squeezing it too much, and then a huge glop will come out, and you got problems. There we go. All right, let's load this thing down. And I'm not going to thin it with anything. I'm just going to run it straight. Make sure it's working. Yep. And I don't mind if the windshield gets frosted. I think it works. Okay, we'll just set this aside. All right, which one are we doing next? Yeah, hopefully it won't roll here. This jester guy. Got some green flames or something on there. We'll make that work somehow. Okay, next one, this body. Now this is going to look significantly different because this is super high gloss right now. Super high gloss finish. I got a little bit of coffee left, I do. Ultra high gloss. The Bentley. Get bent with a Bentley. That's what the first bills do. It's the only kind of cars you can afford these days. I bought all the shoes and eyeglasses with me to watch this live stream. Excellent. Somebody's been watching my feed. Excellent. Good. So you'll have them all. Pablo's in a cult. Thanks for joining us, Uncle Artie. That was that guy's name? Artie? I think of what it was. That's the two skits I like from that one the most. What was that guy's name? Hold on a second. Mr. Rosenberg. Yeah. Saul Rosenberg. Saul Rosenberg. That's what it is. All right. Saul Rosenberg. This is my glasses, so I'll have them all. That was funny. Kicking it like it's 1989. Saul rocks. I tried watching. I've only listened to the first one way back when. I tried to listen to the other ones. Is it me or they're just not as funny? The first one's excellent. I had a guy that I work with that I swear that he thought that those guys actually called. That they actually called him. I don't know whether that's true or not. I mean, we're in Florida, so why the hell would they be calling all the way over here? But you know, yeah, I like that kind of stuff. I like the crank calls, especially when somebody gets mad. You know, Saul rocks. Yeah, that's a great character. All right. Two of those. How did you hit upon that? That's awesome. You passed the quiz, my friend. That guy didn't play, though. Mr. Rosenberg. Mr. Rosenberg. Mr. Rosenberg. Let's put this right here so this guy don't go a-flying. Yeah, that may not work. Let's, do we got a Clippy? We do. We do have a Clippy. Clippy Klippelstein. Yeah, I tried watching one of the other. I tried listening to one of the other ones. They just weren't as funny. My daughter live like, Uncle Eddie died. I'm gonna kill you, you motherfucker. You. That's some funny stuff, man. That's some funny stuff. You, sir, won the internet. That's not good. What address are you at? 2145th Street. All right, 1784 91st Street. No. This is a clusterfuck. Awesome. You, sir, won the internet. Yeah, it reminds me of what we were talking about the other day, Phil Henry. Man, the Phil Henry shit shows, man. There's just some train wrecks of phone calls that come in. Just some funny stuff. I remember going on a long road trip and I listened to the first Phil Henry thing, and I'm like, I think I was going to Miami or something like that. I'm like, man, I don't want the trip to end. Like, there's still stuff to listen to. It's really, really funny. And nobody gets hurt, right? Like, nothing bad happens. Just some people get, like, get bothered. They get all hot and bothered, and that's it. Nobody gets hurt. All right. Interiors. I think that's all the clear coating that we have. Because that's going to be painted black. This is going to be painted black. This is going to be painted black. Or, prime black. The windows, I don't know what the hell we're going to do with the windows yet. That's going to be primed. This is going to be primed. This is going to be primed. This is going to be primed. We're doing fucking green wheels. No. This is serious business. This is serious business. We're trying to kill each other here. And then there's green wheel bullshit. Adam Sandler, the hypnotist. Oh, I'll have to listen to that. I normally don't find Adam Sandler very funny, and my brother who does says, "Oh, well, you got to listen to the one where he's like, the hero song, whatever." And that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. All right. Are we done with this thing? All right, let's clear this. So, one of the things that I said a long time ago is there's no point. I try to be frugal when you can, okay? They make these things that you spray your airbrush thing into. They're like $30. In the process of doing that, you end up trashing that. So I see no point in spending $30 to trash something when you can just use a milk jug or Arnold Palmer to do it. Now, for whatever reason, I don't, if I need to pour this on somebody and see what happens. Somebody is like really bad. This is probably fermented hell in there. It apparently doesn't evaporate worth a shit. So I've got months and months and months of drippings of airbrush cleaner, etc. stuff in here. So this is probably some nasty stuff in here. It's all water-based though, okay? So it's not that nasty. You don't want to drink it, but we're just going to clear. There's no point in buying a $30 thing that is going to end up looking like this, like on the inside, like black and stuff. It's just, save money where you can, Don't save it on an airbrush. Don't go buy a $17 airbrush. I remember when I was looking at airbrushes, one of the guys was saying probably the wisest piece of advice somebody said is, if you're going to skimp on something, skimp on a compressor. Buy a no-name compressor that has a tank. Don't spend lots of money on that, but buy a good airbrush. The problem with buying a cheap airbrush is you save money, but you're tortured by taking it apart and cleaning it. So unless you don't value your sanity very much, yeah, go buy a $20 airbrush. I had one of those cheap airbrushes, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It made me, I'm a pretty detail-oriented person when it comes to like painting things. So it's really frustrating to have all those issues when it comes to painting something. And you got all this goo and stuff on here, just get you some good old Purell hand sanitizer. It'll take all this stuff all off. Clean the outside. And we can give it a deep clean look, brand new. We can give it a deep clean, but that just takes time. So I'm doing a lot of these cars day after day. I definitely want it to save me some time. All right, now, the primer I am going to cut down with the magic sauce. That's what I should call this, the Abbas magic sauce. Instead of the Abbas magic mix, the Abbas magic sauce. So he recommends 70-30. I do about that. And it seems to work better if you put this in first. Okay. And I'm going to use this Vallejo primer, which I am not a fan of. I much prefer the one shot, but I'm out of it. Okay, so we're going to fill the rest of it up. Not all the way up, because I'll spill this. And it's frustrating to be incompetent. So I'll try not to do that. And we get one of these little stirrers. And that should be good enough. We'll test it on here. Good enough. And let's begin. So what gets primed? Black. The interior of this, we need to get our clippy things here. Now, if you don't use the magic sauce, you get tip dry. And I may still get some jamming, okay? Because this primer is difficult to deal with. It's a good value, it covers well, but Victor, what's up? Oh, you changed your logo. You're now 158. Somebody else wanted to be you. Somebody else wanted to be Victor Lane. All right. Uncle Freddie, that's what it is. Uncle Freddie died? Oh, my daughter just lost it. She loved that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Just light coat. No point in overdoing it. Now, this stuff is self-leveling, but if you do light coats, it pretty much dries immediately. And we're running it at a ridiculous PSI. We're running it like 40 PSI. And we want to avoid jams. We're not doing fine detail work. We're just making this do everything that a spray can I would normally do with a spray can. Except this isn't freaking toxic to my, I'm not going to get cancer from this. The spray cans have just gotten really nasty smelling. So that's actually the main reason that I got into airbrushing, was to get away from those spray cans. Yeah, and you get ID'd when you buy spray paint now. Like you're some kind of a criminal or something. All right, I'm from the 70s and the 80s, man. We didn't do that kind of shit. That's this new generation. Don't know who their dad is. All right, let's go ahead and do the undercarriage. This lavender just won't do. Again, really, really thin. Barbie Dream Camper. Not anymore. It's a battle wagon. This is squash people's dreams. It's a nightmare. A bimbo nightmare. Now they're asking for identification by lottery tickets. I'd rather buy Hot Wheels. They're a hell of a lot. It's the same price. And you win something. Not just, I had a friend of mine that he had some pieces of advice. I haven't talked to him in almost 30 years, but he had some pieces of advice that have always stuck with him. One of them is like, your chances of finding a winning lottery ticket are about the same of buying one and winning. Okay, fair enough. And then, I always remember that one. Yeah, I should have glued the wheels down first. It's just a minor mishap. I continue making mistakes. I try to be perfect, but it's not working out real well. I don't care if some of the lavender's on the inside, you're not going to see that. And if I miss a spot, again, it's not probably a big deal. That's the undercarriage of the dream catcher. The dream catcher. Okay, that one's done. All right, this yellow bastard underneath that just won't do. That just won't do. Just removing this. I don't care this is all fuzzy and stuff. That'll all straighten itself out. We're gonna hot glue gun. We use hot glue gun to close this thing up, anyways. No, I did not wash these. You know, you don't need to. I don't feel the need to be that picky about everything. You know, whoops! Let's not do that. I should use a pair of gloves. And never just make cleanup a little easier. Let's put on a glove. All right. Yeah, so I went to the store, went to Walmart, did our weekly shopping. I'm like, let's go to the toy section. I'm like, oh, they have some stuff here that I've never seen before. I'm like, all right, so $4 for my addiction. You know, I don't know that you could find a hobby that's cheaper than this. I did encounter somebody a couple weeks ago that was actually looking for stuff to resell. And I'm like, okay, my time's worth too much to do that. Whee! Okay. This bastard, I'm not worried about. It already has a black bottom on it. We're just going to cover these silly ass green tires, green rims, green wheels. The other day I bought super glue. And I got carded for super glue. I had to get a manager to get super glue. I don't know what the hell you can do with super glue, but a little Loctite super glue. Oh, hold on, we got to get a manager. I'm like, why? The house is full of liquor. You know, if I want to get trash, I wouldn't be doing it off of something that's poisonous. This is that inside that has that little RC car there. All right. And I need to do some oil slicks and stuff like that. I just don't feel like it. You know, there's some people that make the smoke and the oil slicks and stuff already. I may just end up buying this commercially, you know, because one thing that I noticed from playing one game is when you have smoke, cars end up like being on top of it, and you like, even if you have this really nice looking smoke, it's got to be removable, because what ends up happening is you end up like overlapping and things like that. So it's nice to make it look all 3D and everything, but it's not really practical within the game. Got a wang on that one. This is the Bentley. Oh, it's got a diffuser on the back. These little these little lines there. That's a diffuser. I don't know if it really works or anything. It looks cool until you go over, you know, some rocks and trash it. We got quite a few people watching. I said we open some other cars. What do you guys think? You want to break up some? Because I'm done. Like, I'm done at this point. Like, I don't really want to, I don't really want to stop my feed. See, this is what happens when I do a mobile feed like that. I get a lot more people. So maybe some of you guys, like, I don't know, watching this that normally would not watch my channel, but, you know, it gets spit out to, I don't know where the hell it gets spit out to people that put it on their mobiles or whatever. But I'll break open some other cars if you guys want to. You want to see some other cars breaking over. I think it's really cool to see what's inside some of these vehicles, because they actually, a lot of them have really good interiors. They have better interiors than a lot of model kits. You know. And like, I overkilled how much black is in there. So I probably need to use this stuff up or throw it away. Okay, I'm going to go grab some other vehicles, all right? And I'll be right back in a moment. Make wrecks? I can't make wrecks. I can't wreck these vehicles. All right, so we got some ones that Marty gave me. This is a Prelude. This is going to be the Yarrow Ferro. And if that bothers you, well, then you're not going to enjoy my feeds, because, you know, we make fun of everything. It's a Prelude. It's actually a beautiful Prelude. Got a red interior. We're going to fix that. That just does not go. Now, this actually has some white wheels, which actually works. But what is this, a Hot Wheels or something? Hot Wheels 2019. Honda Prelude 98. Yeah. 1998 Honda Prelude. So, we got that one. We got a Camaro that is beat up. Oh, shit. I'll be right back. Rex, I'm doing something. Be right back. Okay, so I got something the other day at the flea market or somewhere. And this is actually something I believe that actually came with It actually came with monster trucks. And this is actually a vehicle that's wrecked. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I can use it as a wreck. And I started looking at it and I'm like, no, I'm not using this as a wreck. I'm making this a vehicle that actually runs. Now, it's a dilapidated car, okay? But like everything's here. It has an interior, you know, that's crumpled on there, you know, the crumpler. You know, this is like, you know, Wrecked It Ralph or something like that. That might be a good name for it. Put a wrecker thing on it. But this is like perfect. You know, this is perfect. So this is going to be a running car because it's got wheels and everything. Obviously, it's not going to be safety orange, right? But it's going to be like, you know, different colored door panels, you know, like all like a jalopy. The sloppy jalopy. So we're going to take this thing apart. So we got 1, 2, 3. We've got this thing, which I actually found out it was a T-Rex from Toy Story. It's got some teeth. Toothy grin. Toothy. And what else we got? We got a lowrider here. This would normally be for the Mexicans, but it's got a lot of boom on it. So, you know, it's going to be for the Boom Brothers Consortium. And somebody wanted me to give this, one of my German cars, a World War II name. And, you know, if there's one, might as well have one that's gray. You know, something like Panzerblitz or something like that, you know. A 911. Porsches are very hard to find. You know, Porsche's very hard to find. So, we've got some things to tear up here. Let's tear it up. All right? So, we're going to take the body cavity search glove off and go back to surgery. And we have some pink stuff here left. Now we're just going to leave it be. Do you have an X-Acto knife or something? You cut this down, cut this off. That's the only problem with cutting the plastic is you have these remnants. And sometimes you like drill a hole and you'll melt it back. So, you know, you're trying to, you know, get it to cut loose and you're actually like sealing it back up as soon as you're cutting it. And that's with it being at a slow speed. There we go. Freetark, heard you're breaking the Hot Wheels. We are. We are. Here's this jalopy thing. All right, let's, yeah, we've got a few of them broken open. Let's do some more. I got primer, so let's go to town. All right, the jalopy. Now this one is going to get repainted, so I'm actually going to primer this entire thing. We don't want anything orange here. Just go around that little rivet. Okay, should be good there. Go to the front. Wrecked It Ralph. I don't want to make a wreck out of this thing. I want this to be a functioning piece of crap. All right. Let's see what we got here. Nope. All right, let's see what we got. I bet it's got a cool interior. That means these people that design these things actually put a lot of effort into it. You know, it's a kid's toy. I don't know how they... Oh, I could be wrong. It might not have... Nope, it just has the driving compartment. That's it. Everything else is all crumpled. Okay. Well, this whole thing is going to get primered. Okay, so this thing's going to... Well, if I'm going to drop one, let's drop the one that's going to get repainted. All right, so this whole thing is going to get primered. I'm going to go ahead and move these things that have already had the treatment done to them. Clear the space here. Oh, we got some exciting stuff coming up. But that's what I do. I'll go in, I'll find something. I'm like, I've already named the fucker. I've already named the fucker when I bought it. You know, I see this Bentley, gold Bentley. Oh, it's Goldilocks. You know, so we're gonna have a third crew member. They're all gonna be armed with pistols. Might bump them up to magnums, even though Glocks aren't magnums. I actually don't like Glocks at all, but you know, but that just seems that would be different. I don't have a vehicle that has that. You know, the whole point is to make them different, play them different, not necessarily make one better than the other one. It was kind of cool that the other day, or yesterday, yesterday was the other day, that the other day, there's a couple of vehicles that had some special rules and they got themselves in situations where they're able to use those special rules. So, make it a Mad Max Fury Road vehicle. I've not seen any Mad Max movie. I tried watching the first one. It seemed way too dated. Oh, and we got this Silver Bullet as well. This 49 Merc. Okay. Fuck it, let's do this one next. This one will not be repainted, obviously. We're going to... It's got a clear hood over the engine, so I'm probably going to remove the... that doesn't work. That's incompatible. Okay, that's just not... That just doesn't go. So let's go ahead and put a softer something on here. What's on here? Ha! I got DBA scores on here. I don't need that shit anymore. I'm done with that crap. I've made parole. All right, here we go. Just going around that rivet. Okay, loose there. And the front. Okay. I don't like these chrome parts because the chrome just ends up being like covered plastic, and eventually, even with handling, it'll come off. So, as much as I'd love to keep the chrome parts on there, you really need to modify them so for longevity. Okay, so you see this little clear part here? It's part of it. I'm probably either going to have to paint it solid or just remove it so you can see this pretty engine in here. Shiny and chrome. Yeah, this'll look good. This will end up looking good. But there's no point in repainting it because, you know, you're going to lose these flames. You're going to lose a 33 on there. I mean, there's some decent graphics that'll look. They just need to be enhanced. And these things have lots of. I mean, they got headlights on there. You got a nice grille. I mean, all this. This will be a good looking car. You know, it'll be a good looking car. It's a car from the 40s. Of course, it'll look good. From the 50s, it looked like ass. There might be a car or two from the 50s that I like, but generally they're starting to get a little too weird. Starting to look a little bit like this thing. Speaking of that thing, let's open that bitch up. This is the T-Rex from Disney Pixar, and it only has one rivet. I'm already a fan. It's got less things to break open. Now, this is not going to be a T-Rex. I don't know what the fuck this is going to be. Woo, that one was hot. It landed on me, it was hot. And this is a lot safer for your fingers. Like, I'm not going at a ridiculous high speed. I mean, you can still hurt yourself, but not like, 5,000 PSI, 5,000 RPM, not PSI. Definitely don't want 5,000 PSI. All right, this is a wedge design. So wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it. Come on. Man, this thing is toothy. Toothy grin. Cabrón. It has an interior. What's this thing look like without the glass? Because sometimes I use the glass, sometimes I don't. I'm going to keep this in the color this is. These amoeba things or whatever the hell this is. COVID car or something. No, we don't want to mention the C word. If you're going to use the C word, use the one that ends with a T. Not the one that ends with a D. All right, a Camaro. A Camaro. A 70s Camaro, right? Z28. Oh, this is 82. An 82 Hot Wheels. Old school. But, I mean, there's some decent striping on here. There's no reason to destroy that. We're going to enhance it. Enhance it. All right, here we go. Okay, and same thing on the front. A lot safer than trying to go through that damn peg. It's brutal. It takes forever. And it's just flat out, it's just fucking dangerous. You're just too close to your fingers are too close to something at that high RPM. And you're putting like torque on it and shit. It's like, internet taking a shit, need a refresh. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got inside. Oh, there's no interior. There's no interior on this old school Hot Wheels. Wow. I'm surprised. Well, that means this thing's going to be built closed. No interior on it. Wow. It's obviously been in water. We got some rust and stuff on there. Okay, this is the Euro Ferro. Plastic bottom. Do it again. I always like the look of these cars. Preludes. Just didn't have that kind of money. That's a lot of money for me back in 1998. Red interior, that's got to go. I don't know if the hood being black is original. Looks like it might be. We're going to leave it. If it looks stupid, we'll repaint it. Oh, it's a Japanese version because it's got that right-hand drive. Okay. Well, this is for the Asian persuasion team. Has a sunroof. Technically, that's a moonroof. Okay. What else we got? Two new ones. We're gonna punt on the new ones. Okay. We got time to do this. The Porsche and the lowrider. We can do those at a later date. Let's work with what we have. We have lots of cool stuff. I really should have taken pictures of these beat up ones before I did anything with them, just to see how much better I can make them look. Because they're chipped up with the blue and stuff. This will end up looking great. I guarantee they're going to look great. We got some practice. All right, we got lots of likes. Thank you, guys. Maybe somebody will see this as, I didn't know you did that kind of stuff. No, I do. All right, now I already got black loaded up. Normally I would do clear first, but since the black is loaded up, let's do all the black stuff. Let's prime all the black things. Okay? This entire interior is chrome. That's got to go. Okay? I don't care how rich you are, you do not want a car that's completely covered in chrome. It will be very, 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 very hot, for starters. So I waited, so now it's, you hear that? So we may have a situation here that we need to, or not. Okay, so let's just see how long we can go without this jamming up on us. Oh, we got to put our body cavity search glove on again. Just helps to clean up. Not like this stuff is toxic or anything. I mean, you don't want to drink it, but I don't think we put that on right. Whoopsie! I bought one pair of gloves a while ago. I don't remember where I got them, but they were good quality. These are off the internet and they're just trash. So like, they'll get a hole in without any trouble. I'm still not doing this right. What's wrong with this? Man, that glove's kicking your ass, boy. It sure the hell is. All right. Thumb is the lower one. Right. One guy was watching the video, he was doing something, and he's like, he's got gloves on while he's taking the car apart. When it's time to paint it, he's not using the gloves. I'm like, I don't know. There's some people that do videos and they don't talk, and they don't want to use their fingers. I don't know if they got some swastika tattoos or something on their arms. They don't want people to see, or on their hands or something. I don't know. So we're just going to cover this. This makes it real easier for whatever I end up repainting it to adhere to it a lot better. And I got this whole thing, it's about half full. This should be enough to do all the cars. You really don't use that much paint. Yeah, we got some fun stuff coming up ahead, man. We got another game on Saturday. I've already got 2 vehicles, nearly a third vehicle done since the last game, and we didn't even use all the vehicles in the last one. I got 17 27-point cars done, we only used 12. So there's 5 of them that didn't get used. Plus now I've got another 2 and about to have 3 more. So we're on a tear. We're on a tear. Really enjoying this hobby. I think this appeals to other people more than tanks, than World War II stuff. I'm not saying World War II stuff sucks, but I'm just saying there's some people like, tanks, yeah, they're green, whatever, Like, everybody knows what cars are, Everybody has cars, well, hopefully, in America. All right. Working our way over. This one, I'll go ahead and prime the bottom of this. Or at least the parts that are visible. And I'm probably going to leave this stuff here to dry overnight. Probably not going to mess with these things tonight. And technically, this is the same scale of my tanks. So I can use all the terrain and stuff that I did for the tanks. I can use it for this, you know. Oh, this 1/64th, your tanks are 1/72nd. I said, well, not all the vehicles are 1/64. Some of them are out of scale as well. So it's just a game, have fun, make it look good, have insane things happen. I don't know if we'll film next Saturday. We're likely to not film, but then the next time after that, we probably will. We got a lot of new players, and having a lot of new players is just probably not going to be conducive to that. The next time Mitch and I get together by ourselves, we'll probably have a filmed game. I know he's enjoying it a lot, and I'm enjoying building these things. Okay, there's that one. This is the bottom of the Prelude. The Prelude dude. These are going to look so much better than when I got them. That pretty much goes for all of them, but we got this stuff down. We know what works. We know what's worked for us in the past. So this is a red interior. That just will not go. Come on. This is probably going to need a deep clean after this. Come on. If I had not put that liquid in there, definitely would have jammed and stopped up. This stuff is pretty goopy. It reminds me of like the cheese on top of a French onion soup when it cools. It's elastic. It's plastic and elastic. Yeah, this is a lot of fun for $1.24, whatever these things cost now. Okay. Inside of this T-Rex, got a toothy grin. I have no idea what we're going to do with this thing. It'll come to me. And I'm probably going to work on cars that don't have a ram, because I'm like basically out of rams. So we're going to have to place an order. I don't really want to make my own rams. You know, my time is worth something too, and you know, there's some people out there that can 3D print stuff and make some good quality things. You know, we gotta keep those guys in business anyways. Yeah, it keeps me from using this shit. This is just, it's just crap. Why do you have that? I don't know. I don't know why. I don't have a good answer. It wasn't for this. It was for furniture or some shit like that. And that smells like hell. I don't mind cleaning this, but I don't want to clean this and then put the black shit back on it. So I'd like to get done with this stage before we strip this thing and do all that business. All right, and then the innards. Find a little clippy spot. These little alligator things are great. I don't know if this is going to end up showing, but if it is, you definitely want this thing primered in a non-obtrusive colored thing. Okay. This is the exterior, that's the window. Exterior, window. Time for Wrecked It Ralph. Where can we grab this thing from? Let's grab it right here. And you can tell what pressure we're running at. It's really high pressure. We want to avoid jams, if at all possible. All right, time to prime black. Bye-bye orange. I feel like this is about to slip and fall on the floor. Ooh. I mean, this is beautifully damaged. It's a shame to, use this as a wreck. Just have it sit on the side. It comes with tires. It comes with tires that rotate. It's like, this is a perfect opportunity to make a jalopy that's barely running. A jalopy that's running. And now this. Oh, I bet that freaking compressor's hot. It's been running like crazy. But I don't want to lower the pressure and increase the chance of getting this stopped up. Because the stuff is pretty thick. It's not like we're, using regular paint that's thinned down or anything. This is just primer shit. I don't know what vehicle this is. Looking at the front of it, it's like a Buick something or another. Now, if I was to hand paint this primer, I'd be here a month. This is just so damn slick. It'd be a really unpleasant experience trying to primer this by hand. How much we got left to primer? Is this the last one? I think this is the last one. Okay, well we just gotta make it to the end of this. I'm not gonna reload this with more black. Let's find another spot where we can temporarily hook up to. Luckily, this doesn't weigh anything, so it's not like you're putting a lot of weight on it. That's why I don't like doing like things that are like white metal. They just weigh too much. I believe these came with the monster trucks. Not all monster trucks, but with some monster trucks, they came in with the monster trucks. But I ended up picking this up from Vintage Toy King. I think that's where I got it from. And I wish they had more. I don't know if they make different styles of them crashed. Crushed. Crumpled. They're really crumpled. Oh, they got wheels that roll. Okay, I think that's good enough. And we're basically at the end of this. Alright, so let's take this thing apart. See how quick we can get this thing running again. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and remove this. If you don't have one of these quick disconnects, super handy. You can keep your pressure still wherever the hell you need, and you just disconnect this thing. Okay, because there's some things that we need to do with this that don't necessarily require having any kind of pressure in here. Let's move this out of the way. Alright, first thing we're going to do is, let's use a paper towel to get as much of this stuff out as we can. We'll, might as well remove all this out of this front end and not have to blow it through the airbrush. Okay. Now, if I was still using the clear coat, this probably wouldn't have jammed up. But this stuff is like, it's difficult to deal with. It's difficult for the airbrush to deal with. Okay, so we got our pressure still wherever we left it at. It's running through the hose. So whenever we connect it back, we're able to do that. We'll use some thinner through here. With some cleaner, and use the brush that came with the airbrush that for whatever reason is super awesome. You can be like really rough with it and it doesn't lose shape. It's, I mean, it's pretty amazing brush it gives you. Okay, and again, there's no point in pushing this through the airbrush when you can just take it and dump it in the container. Okay, now we still have the needle in there. We haven't touched the needle where it's at. And we know that's going to be filthy, but we're going to get all the stuff out. Look at the front of this thing. The front of this thing is just crustaceaned. All right? So one thing we're going to do is we're going to take this needle, and the protector for this is really handy because if you drop this and you don't have the protector on the front and the protector on the back, odds are you're either going to land on the front and fuck up your needle, or you're going to land on the back and it's going to jam the needle all the way in through, and you're going to have a problem. And that actually happened to me. So we're going to pull this out a little bit, okay, because we don't actually want it, and there's actually some goop in there. All right, I actually don't want to pull it all the way out. I'm going to push it all the way through the front. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take our device that I always like to lose, even though I try to put it in the right place. I seem to be incompetent when it comes to that. The little wrench. It's here somewhere. I'm always looking for that fucker. It's tiny, and I got all kinds of things up here. Here's a wrench. All right. So I'm going to take this off. And we've pulled this back, so we should be able to rock this back and forth and loosen it. Now the problem is going to be the jam is in here. The jam is in here, and it's also on the cover. And this is the one that's kind of the one that's a pain in the ass to remove. Now, with that said, I did all this with a 0.35 needle, with a 0.35 opening. So I actually did with a finer one, okay? So now I'm going to, instead of pushing it all the way through, I'm going to push it out the front, okay? And we're going to clean this off with some hand sanitizer. And literally the hand sanitizer will like melt the paint. It cleans it plenty good. All right, let's remove this because the hand sanitizer can loosen up some of this paint, and I'll just be playing this game of, you know, getting it back on there. All right, so we're gonna set this aside in this little tray where it's not supposed to roll. Notice how I said that, it's not supposed to roll. All right, look at the inside of this thing. It looks all right, but the tip is all Nastafarian. So we're gonna take this to the front. We're going to use our little swishy, and we're going to remove all that paint off of there. That was my accidental discovery that the hand sanitizer is wonderful. And some people swear you can use rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol does not fucking work for me. And the hand sanitizer is thick, so it's not like all over the place. It's not like you just poured a deluge in your hands and you're getting it all over the place, right? Clean. And we're going to go ahead and tear this apart. Make sure this is clean. And then we can see light through there, which we cannot. Aha, so we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. All right, we're going to put some of that in there as well. We're going to get one of these little... Actually, almost out of this. I got tons of it inside, but I'm almost out of it here. We've got hand sanitizer now in one of these little... Yeah, so we're pushing this. This stuff is coming out. If it's supposed to have a hole and you can't see light through it, you got a problem. Okay. I bet we can see it now. Oh, yeah. Nice and clear. All right. This is good to go. This does not have anything else in it other than the threads, which shouldn't have any paint in it because I don't know how the hell you would get that in there. And the front of it is crystal clear. So that piece is good to go. All right, I'm going to put them here in this little tray so we don't have them rolling off somewhere. Okay, this has no paint on it. That's good to go. The needle's good to go. Okay, so the only thing that's dirty is this. Well, and the nozzle, which is always a dirty part. So we're going to, we have some built up, we got some paint there, some goopage there. We're going to remove that. And we just pushed it and got it loose. Hold on one second, folks. All right, so this should be clean. That's clean. Now, the thing that's the biggest pain in the ass, this. Guaranteed you can't see light through there. You cannot. All right, so. Normally I would use a lot less than this, but the problem is it's just getting it out. There's one end that is relatively clean, and we're going to swish this through here. And yeah, of course it's going to come. Of course it's going to come out black. That's what the problem is. Now can we see light through it? No. All right? So then what we're going to do is we're going to take this needle that we just used. This is what I like to do. Hello. Put some hand sanitizer on it. And push it through. So you see the tip come out. Now we should see light. And we do. Okay? But it's still kind of dirty. So we're going to do it again. We're going to use one that's cleaner. We're almost done. All right, and we should be good to go. Now we just have to reassemble everything. We're still already at the pressure we need to be. This is about as quick as I've been able to do this. All right, so the first thing we're just going to do everything in reverse. We're going to put the needle in first from the front. Pull it way past in there. Put the nozzle on. And even though you can tighten this by hand, feel free to tighten it by hand, but you still have to clamp down on this or you're not going to get a good enough seal. And again, where's that little fucking wrench? Here, right in front of me. Okay? Let's put the protector on it. So, because this needle will end up going out and you don't want to clip it on something. And the protector on the back. Operates good. Plug it back in. You immediately have the pressure where you were at before. And we're going to make sure that two things happen. The first thing we want to make sure, if we put liquid in here, that when you press down on this, only air comes out, not air and liquid. If air and liquid come out just by pressing it down, you still have a dirty problem. A dirty problem, all right? So nothing, liquid. Nothing, liquid. All right, we're going to run that liquid through there, and we're ready to rock and roll. Now, I don't do this intensive clean. I used to. Every time I airbrushed it, it's a pain in the ass. It's not a pain in the ass. It just takes time. So I don't really want an airbrush session that would normally take 20 minutes to take an hour. You know, I value my time that way. We're going to take the wrench and put it there where I should put it every damn time. But I don't listen to myself. I'm pig-headed like that. All right. Now, clear coat time. So we're going to clear coat all these things we took apart so we can give them a brown wash. And we'll be ready to rock and roll. Obviously, we're not going to do the brown wash out here. It could be a different color wash. I just happen to use dark brown, works really well. Now, I like to thin it appropriately, so you have something like this doesn't end up looking like some rust wagon, right? So we're just going to use, we don't need any magic mix, although the magic mix guy would say you need to use it. I actually want this to coat really thick. And we're running about 40 psi, all right? What am I running? Oh, 40 psi. 40 psi. It should be, and it's only because this stuff is super thick. Like, I don't want any more jams than I need. Okay? So, this is the way I do it. If you do it differently, by all means, do it the way that works for you. All right? So, we're going to, let's just with air, let's blow these little, make sure we don't have any little particles. Again, this is going to look like a damaged vehicle, so we're not that picky. Okay? Got some going, and let's just go lightly over it. It's going to dull the finish of this a little bit, which is fine. This thing is shinier than snot anyways. And this basically dries instantaneous. And there's other brands that I actually like better than the Viejo, but this is what I have. We want to use up what we have before we buy the Ammo MIG one-shot primer. This stuff is much better. Now the problem is this. Look at the quantity. And this is actually cost more than this. So this stuff is really good. It's better. It jams less and it's less shiny and, you know. But I have lots of the Vallejo left. We're just going to go around this a couple times. And we're basically what we're doing is we're giving this a rough, I want to say abrasive, but abrasive's not enough for basically the brown wash to stick to it. And that way it allows you to use the finish that the vehicle already comes in. But we're just enhancing the paint job that it's on here. Because if I repaint this, the reality is I'm not going to put the flames on it. I'm not going to put the 33 and that type of logo on it. Okay? And we could just carefully just grab corners, move it up there, let it dry overnight. Well, you don't have to let it dry overnight, but I will because I'm not going to be messing with it again. Okay? The Prelude, same thing. It's shiny. The hood looks like it's after painted. Like somebody painted almost with the markers or something like that. This will end up looking great when we're done with it, though. All right? So, still got plenty of liquid here. Yep, make sure it's coming out. Just lightly over it. The only problem with running it at such a high PSI is this fucker will run a lot. The compressor will run a lot. It's got a tank, but it's noisy. I don't want to hear it. And it's very, very, it can get very, very hot. But you know what? Whenever that thing dies, we'll get another one with a bigger tank because it's obvious that we use the Airbrush now. You know, you don't want to spend a lot of money on stuff and then realize, you know, this is something I never use. You know, we're not in the pissing money away business. So I don't mind spending money on stuff if it's something that I'm using, especially if I'm using it every time. So the day I get a compressor, it will be a big fucker. So just a little, so we dulled the hood. It already looks better. It already looks better dulled. Okay, we're going to leave these little chips. You're probably not going to be noticeable. That's going to be places where the dirt and stuff and the weathering is going to catch anyways. This is going to look awesome. Okay, the Camaro. Same thing. It's got some chipping on there. I could probably color match. If it has too much of a chipping, I can color match it enough. And after you do the weathering, you won't be able to tell the difference. Which I really enjoy color matching things. It's very empowering. But again, if I'm going to repaint this, all this nice striping, this unique striping, it'd get lost. I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to do all that striping. I take a neon, you know. We got hundreds of cars to do, literally. We have hundreds of cars to choose from. So we just gave it a dull finish. This will allow the brown wash. I just happen to use brown for modulation, you know, so that the car looks different. If you go to a showroom, the car brand new looks different. You go on the outside, you're going to have areas that are weathered a little bit differently. It looks more believable. Okay, this funky T-Rex. Or whatever it is. Looks like some amoeba. Reminds me of that what we used to call the booger on Star Control. The video game from Sega, on the Sega Genesis in the early 90s called Star Control. And there was different alien ships you could use. And one of them literally looked like a booger. Had this spray it would do, like a really short range spray that was absolutely deadly. And then it moved really slow, but it could like move really fast. So you want to get behind somebody and then spray them. You know, and it reminded me of this. It was this type of color. I called it the booger. It's a great game. Back in the day. I don't want to play it again. I've done my time with old games. But the wash is going to catch really nice on that. It's going to look like the fucking measles or something. It's going to look like a tongue that's diseased. Might be a good name for it. Tongue something. I think that's it. Because these, I'm not going to give them a flat coat on the windows. If we end up using this window when we do the final coat, they'll get dulled as well. So we got everything dulled in here. Yeah, that's it. We decided not to open up those two. You know, you take something like this gold one, okay? Remember how shiny this gold was? Now it's matte, a little bit. So when we do a brown wash on it, it's just going to be superb on there. All right, folks. Well, thanks for coming by. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your kind of thing. I know we got some new people that normally wouldn't have come in here because we're doing the live thing, but unfortunately, the resolution's shittier. It's reverse video, but some of you guys might have seen this that normally would not have seen this. We're going to go ahead and spray the rest of this, and this is how I like to park this thing. So we're going to go ahead and run this all the way out. I don't want to take this apart and clean it. You don't have to. I mean, you can, if it ends up being a jam, then you clean it at that point. We're not doing any super fine airbrushing stuff. Run some cleaner through here, homemade cleaner. Try to get this stuff off the sides, but it's usually the nozzle. It's the nozzles where the problem is. And you don't even have to run the whole damn thing through here. Just pull the rest out. Run the end, make sure it's dry. And that's it. And then just leave this thing to air dry here, and it's good to go next time you use it. And if it isn't, then you'll do the deep clean. But there's no point in just automatically just like, all right, I'm just going to clean it for nothing, Generally, if I keep doing clear coats, it's fine. It's when you start using the primer that it's super thick and an issue. All right, folks, thanks for coming by. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you guys later on in the week. Bye-bye, folks.